Welcome back to the Army, the true fans, to a Patreon exclusive episode.
Hmm.
I've been asking Kluver to do one of these for a while because I don't really know what it entails, but I feel like we just got to get more intimate with our true fans and get some good content out there for
Yep.
y'all's ears that nobody else can hear. Um, Kluver, man, I'm gonna let you take this one over because you're the brains behind this operation.
Doesn't it feel more special when it's just for the all this content is just for the walk on army?
Only if it's good content, because if we put out dog shit content, then we're like, well, we didn't do these people any favors at all, and we're shit at what we do.
Well, but to some extent, these are the people they're the ones who are like they're bought in, right? Literally. And they just they even like hearing the shitty stuff. I've been told by several of them. They're like,
How
"Hey,
how deep's the army running these days? How many troops we got?
127, 29."
Dude, that's an entire team, pal.
Woo!
We've got an
That's
entire roster.
that's a whole damn company, man.
Yeah, bro. 129. It's like walk on army. Those listening to this episode, you are the 300. All right, think of yourself as a gladiator, and Drake is our leader. And get your shield and your spear. We're going to fucking battle. We're going to war. Oh. One of those deals. Wow, Kevin's looking so professional tonight. He's got the
That's
glasses
the
on,
sexy bastard that I want next to me going into battle too.
and he's eating a salad, dude. You know he's primed. What is that?
Especially because Kevin's good looks and extremely hard bod
Hard.
are going to get all of the opposing warriors' wives very hot and bothered.
Pregnant.
Which point the other warriors are going to be preoccupied with the fact that all their wives want to bang Kevin, and we can go in and sneak in the back door of the battlefield and cut all their heads off.
Can you imagine? Can you imagine showing up?
We really are like the extras in the movie 300, where they didn't have to be good at acting at all. They just had to have chiseled abs and a defined chest. And they probably got paid like 300 pesos to be there and in the background in the movie. But that's what we got right here.
Yeah. I think at this point, the three of us could, if they would have contacted us and said, hey, 3 months out, you're going to be an extra for the 300 Army. Now, I would have been prerequisite not allowed in because 5'10", but I would have been home with the women and children. I probably would have been like the bitch boy, like third in command in the
You are
fighting.
the guy in the pink hoodie.
Oh, I'm wearing a pink hoodie as we speak.
You're probably like one of the babies that they just tossed off the cliff right after. It's like, not good enough.
Oh, they saw his hairline and his height, and they said, off the cliff with you, you little imp.
Dude, they didn't know I was going to be 5'10" and bald when I came out of the womb.
Oh,
Come
they
on.
knew, man. They knew.
Wow. But imagine the 300 Army walks up, right? Kevin and you in the front. And then Kevin just stands there and goes, ask all your women. I've impregnated every single one. And they're all like, what? Dude, how do we fight? Like, we're all having children, but it's your kid? Oh, that's Kevin.
I'm glad my girlfriend isn't a Patreon subscriber. She wouldn't like that joke.
I hope that a lot of our Patreon subscribers are on the Tyler Kluver 28-day fitness plan so that we have some good aerobic capacity behind us. Because if we got a bunch of people who are struggling to get to the line to battle, we're in some deep fucking shit here.
Can't even
This
make
is
it.
me telling the walk-on army to get your asses in shape.
Oh, there's a few. There's a few that are in good physical fitness. If we're playing the odds, if we're just playing the odds, America, not the greatest at physical fitness and health, right?
But we are really good at promoting terrible
The
food.
Olympics record is going to dispute that.
I don't know if that represents, though, the entire population.
Doesn't matter, baby. Gold medal champ right here. Let's go.
Dude,
Damn,
Kevin's
that bicep.
beefy, dude.
Golly, I'm gonna keep my little pea shooters away.
I might have to take my sweatshirt off just to feel better about myself. Speaking of, I ran, so I'm in the middle, I'm 6 weeks out from a half marathon. Run today was bad. It was bad news bears. Tempo run. 7:45 pace for 6 miles.
Yikes.
After a 2K warm up, 2K cool down on the end. It was like a 13 some thousand meters. The middle was dicey. It was mentally grinding. It hurt. 200 pounds just is not supposed to run. 200 pounds, 5'10", not supposed to run long distance. Just isn't supposed to happen. And evidently it's also
200.
I'm sitting right around 195. I'm not a true two bills, right?
Interesting that you started building back up when you're doing long distance running, but what do I know?
Well, I've actually lost a couple pounds. I built back up more so over the winter in combination with I cracked a rib and then I couldn't really do anything for 6 weeks. So that's why I was up there. You're pounding out the end of your 4,500 calories, Kev?
You know, it was a light day today. I kind of have a really light snack, so that's why I'm just, I'm eating one of those salads for two, and that's just going to be me.
Okay. If you guys, Drake, your diet is almost 100% Wagyu ribeye at this point, right?
I do like me some steak and I like me some acai. If you gave me two options and I would just choose one protein and one carb, and it would be steak and acai.
I still never had an acai bowl, but I saw you posted on your story that you're like getting addicted to them.
There's no getting addicted. It's full blown. I've spent more money on acai than you've made. You're talking to the acai eating. I'm just kidding.
Wheeling dealing.
I was going all Ric Flair on you guys.
Now, speaking of acai, we got a guy cranking out some acai bowls out in Northeast Iowa.
And when I posted that story, he said, dude, wait till you have mine. I said, dude, you have no idea how much Route 43 has been promoted on our podcast. And he didn't respond.
What a fuck boy. I was just going to go into a promo for Route 43, but now I'm not. Everybody in Northeast Iowa, boycott Josie's juices and his acai. Go burn that place to the ground. Fuck that guy. I mean, what is going on? Funny that
he was like, come eat my acai. And then I said, yeah, well, we've promoted it. And then nothing.
That's a weird thing for one guy to ask another guy to come eat his acai, you know?
And I'll eat his acai.
I mean, let me get up in that acai, you know? I think this is the content that the fucking Walkout Army wants to hear about.
Yeah, I think we're doing good.
Shout out to the unofficial sponsor, Route
Dude,
43.
it was a bad night last night after we turned off the podcast. The Suns came back from down 13, then they were up like 7, and we were feeling it. They finished like a bunch of
pussies,
erectile dysfunction geriatrics.
Wow. Geriatric is a good word.
I love geriatric.
Ever since I heard it in Step Brothers, when he called him a geriatric fuck, that was an all-time line right there.
I also love geriatrics. They keep my lights on.
That's so fucked up. Dude.
Dude, Drake, Kevin's sitting there at home every night just hoping, God, I hope that guy busts his fucking leg.
Speaking of lights on.
There's no hoping, man. There's no hoping, but I'm there to fix them in their time of need.
In Arizona in the summer, it's expensive to keep the lights on, dude. To keep this place cool and shit. Oh my goodness.
You should just never turn any lights on. It should just be all AC.
Yeah, that's pretty much what it is. Our house is a dungeon.
I mean, you got enough sunlight and heat. You don't need any of that, So, interesting discussion. My wife and Lauren, you guys know Lauren. We saw a video of that ICR swimming lesson that they put through babies through.
Yeah, infant swim lessons. Yep.
Yeah, where they just totally dunk them and teach them how to like save themselves if they fall into a pool.
Just be able to float in
Right.
an emergency. But
Yeah. Perchance you have kids. Is that something that you guys would do with your kids?
Hell yeah. Sink or
Yeah.
swim, bitch.
Especially because I watch a couple of families on Instagram and I've watched their kids grow up. And the one family did it with their kid, and I showed it to my mom, and she was like, "Wait, what is going on? Oh my God!" Like she freaked out.
It's a little scary.
But then she saw the kid was okay. And then I showed her videos of the kid at 18 months or 20 months old swimming literally without floaties and everything.
Is this Katie and Hayden?
Yeah, it is. I just didn't know if these people knew. But yeah, it's so if that can really happen, if you can teach a kid how to save themselves in an emergency, and then that transfers into them or translates into them knowing how to swim by the time they're 2, absolutely.
Well, and I was curious because
my kid in a squat rack by the time they're 18 months old.
wow. Okay. That'll be interesting, and I can't wait to see it. One of the questions I was going to ask DeMarco when we had him on, which by this point was 2 episodes ago, but as we record this, they haven't even heard it yet, was how he's going to approach parenting his children, knowing that us 3, a guy like him, anybody in the strength conditioning sort of sports performance world has such a leg up on human movement. And I feel like nowadays, just pure athleticism gets you so far ahead of the game when it comes to they hit middle school, they hit high school. And obviously we all were multi-sport athletes, but think about
Oh, I mean, yeah. It's obviously you're gonna have a leg up, but at the end of the day, you still have to be athletic. Some people are just born with some natural athleticism. Some
Right.
people, you can give them the best workout regime, diet plan, and everything.
They still can't squat 400 pounds.
Hey, I loaded up 405 one time. I weighed 245 at the time, and I was busting out of that belt that I was wearing like a fucking beefcake, but I popped up 405 pretty decent. But I just you're right, Kev. In the end,
you can also look at kids like Dylan Doyle, who is naturally athletic kid. His dad, obviously, strength coach. He walks into college. He's squatting 450 pounds already. I think he hit 600.
I was about to see. Have you seen the videos of him lately?
I think he squatted over 600 pounds.
Jesus
Oh, God.
Christ. This kid, he's loading up 6 plates on that cocksucker and letting her fly.
Where's the Dylan Doyle merch, dude? Now that there's NIL, I need some Dylan Doyle shit.
I would love to hear that conversation between him and his father.
Him and Chris? Hey, Chris.
I'm not going to call him that, but I'll call him Coach. His father.
I call him Chris just because I think that probably makes some buttholes pucker in the listenership. And honestly, it makes mine as well, as I say it.
The only person I've ever heard refer to Coach Doyle as Chris is KF. And that is it.
Yeah. Chris. Oh, Chris, how'd we do today, huh? I don't have a Doyle impression, but it would be something like, I don't know. I don't know how their interactions went. I know that they worked out together, and that was one of the things that I respected the most about KF was the man be working on his fitness.
Mm-hmm.
I think he's 60. How old is that some bitch? He's so
This podcast is officially off the rails.
I mean, with all due respect, some bitch with all due respect, right? Take a guess at how old KF is. Let's see who can get the closest. I think he's 70 straight up.
No. 65 to 67, somewhere in there.
I want to say, hold on, my dad would have been 67.
Oh, you drilled it. He's 65.
Okay. I was gonna say 67 because I thought him and my dad were about identical age.
For some reason, I thought 3 years ago I heard a 60 number. That's why I went to 70. At 65, he would kick ass in a survival, any bout of fitness or survival competition versus people his age.
You know what's crazy is Saban's also 65.
Is he really?
Same
And
as
his
old.
quarterback's making $1 million, and Kevin said it wasn't possible.
I never said it wasn't possible. Please.
I know. I'm just twisting your words up.
Isn't that interesting? I wonder what the deal was. Like, do you think it's just straight up like a car dealership that was like, hey,
I think it's multiple sponsorships because the
gotta
way
be.
he worded it, he said endorsements or deals or something.
yeah. God damn. Can you imagine? Can you imagine? Come back to you roll back into Benton one day and
Yeah.
you're just like, hey, where were, like, you know, I'm sitting there at the table. Kevin rolls in. I'm like, where were you, Kev? He's like, I was signing a deal.
He was at Victoria's Secret. He was modeling their new men's line.
Yeah, Kevin. He's Calvin Klein at the mall. He's like, yeah.
He's at Express with them tight ass pants on.
H&M or something like that.
I got a good question for you guys.
Okay.
Say we were a lot better than we were in college, and
Individually as athletes, you mean?
in general, yeah. And you were making 6 figures plus a year off your NIL rights.
Right.
Maybe call it $500,000. Eh?
Okay.
You still living in Benton?
No, hell.
Fuck no, dude. We're moving into a
No, I'm living in Kinnick's press box. Fuck y'all.
I'm moving in next.
Living in Benton with the boys?
I'm moving in next to KF.
Listen, man, if I was making $500,000 a year, knowing who my father was and how investment oriented he was, I'm very certain he would have told me to immediately buy property in Iowa City so that I could take advantage of this to the fullest. So I probably would have had a crib for everybody.
I was okay. And this is a great question, Kevin, because I know our house was always, you know, Josie and Ike, they were trying to buy gold. Like the minute we moved into Benton Street, they were always like, hey, what stocks you buying? And we're still to this day, it's even ramped up some. I know we would have been smart. All of us would have been smart with our money, but to some extent, there's a percentage of every amount of money that is fun money, right? Like what I make now, what I made in college, you know, fun money in college for me was like $40. Now it's a little bit more than that. If we were making $500K, it would have been a little bit more than that. What would we have gotten into? Like how far would we have gone on Benton Street if the house total of endorsements was like upwards of $1 million?
I would have had a
horrid gambling addiction. What I'm doing is I'm renting out whatever bar we want to go to after every win, and I don't want any of the.
Just call them NARPs.
Yeah, exactly. I just want them, you know, the people I want there. The only.
Can we get some titties in there, please?
Wow, he asked for titties. He asked for titties. And the Walk-On Army would be invited too, because we would have started this podcast in the middle of college. Wow, that would be something, dude. Oh, I probably would have went golfing with you guys.
Properties.
But yeah, I mean, the real reason I'm asking is like, you know, like just living with you boys was the best part of it.
Yeah, I don't know if we could have paid to make that better. Like, I want to walk in and see Ike plopped on the couch with his shirt off, eating a bowl of food. And I don't have to pay for that. You know, I don't need a $200,000 endorsement to watch the girth mow down 30 wings from the vine, right? Like, it is what it is. So I don't know, man. I think Ike could have cashed in on some food sponsorships in college.
Lovable as a human as he is, I'm pretty sure he could have had a sponsorship everywhere.
Anything.
So,
right?
So the reason I bring this up is I think Parker Hesse retweeted a tweet or favorite. I don't know. It came across my feed somehow. And it says this: young men, be ambitious, but I'm telling you, some of your happiest moments will be living with 4 other dudes in a place barely fit for crackheads and eating ramen and canned tuna. You'll never want to go back, but it's where you hopefully learn that money does not buy happiness.
Oh, fuck that. I want to go back.
I still want to go back. Yeah. I agree with that tweet 100%, but just imagine if we could have bought a nicer house and still lived together.
Yeah.
Like if one of us was actually making $1 million, like one of us was Bryce Young, if we wanted to invest the money anyways, we invested in real estate and we live in it with all the homies. Like that's the dream, dude. Buy a mansion for the homies. That's the dream.
That's the dream right
I cannot imagine the every once in a while, the occasional night at the poker table that you would have had, Drake. Oh my goodness.
If it would have started going downhill, it would have gotten out of control.
I thought on several occasions that it maybe already did.
Well, dude, there's at all times in poker, I was willing to play with every dime I had.
I
Like,
know.
I didn't have a kill switch.
I'm
So,
aware.
Like, I'm numb to going broke because I've done it so many times.
Kevin and I would sit in the front house and talk about it. And we would just be like, so how quickly do you think Drake comes home tonight? You think he's going to lose all his money? At one point, we were actually talking about, do you think he's deep? Like, you think he's in trouble and he's trying to bury himself? Like, he's trying to buy himself out of this? Like he's in trouble? But like, hey, you're still standing here today. The mob didn't kill you.
My favorite, some of my favorite moments would be like it's whatever day you went and played poker, Thursday maybe.
Yeah, Thursday.
And it's like
I gotta remember, for everybody listening, I was a very, very shitty poker player back then. Like, I knew nothing. I was just like super ambitious and absolutely loved the thrill.
Yeah, good enough to win occasionally too, right?
I would say I was better than 50-50 because
Yeah.
I would win in chunks that would make me feel really good. And then I would lose in huge chunks. And then I would win 4 or 5 times in a row, lose huge. Like, it was a nasty roller coaster.
Yeah, it's a roller
It's
coaster.
a rough swing, but some of my favorite, the most cherished memories from the Benton house would be like 5 o'clock on Thursday. Drake's gonna go play poker. He's like, all right, I'm gonna go. Wish me luck. I was like, all right, good luck. It's a 20-minute drive down to Riverside. 20 minutes back. Drake's back in an hour. Comes through our door, sits on our couch,
Pissed.
quiet. We're just sitting there. What's up, Drake? All right, well, listen to this bullshit.
tells us hand by hand the exact 7 hands that he played, and then he fucking left the table. Multiple times Drake got asked to leave the poker room in Iowa City.
It's untrue. It's only one time.
One time he got asked to
I
leave.
threw a chair. Guy beat me. It was nasty. Listen, man, I'm not a very lucky son of a bitch when it comes to playing poker. Like, I had to overcome some nasty beats, and I got aces in against 6 deuce of hearts, and the chair got thrown.
He still remembers the hand. How was I put mental health down a few episodes back. We did that mental health episode, and then I meant to roll back around to it and ask now. We did that episode when it was 1 year out of us.
About 2 years ago.
It was 1 year out of Pro Day. So it was like middle of May 2019. And I would say at the time we were all still kind of we're still figuring life out for sure. Jesus Christ, Drake looks like Joe Dirt, but
dude, I'm at ground zero of fucking the Twin Towers right now.
okay.
Jesus
But 2 years now post that episode, I was curious. I was going to ask, like, mental health wise, post career, dealing with not being a player anymore. It gets easier and easier, obviously, and your life just becomes more of what it is and not what it was. Are there any specific things or thoughts you guys have on that, or are things better now than they were when we recorded that episode? Or are they worse? Do you still feel like a motherfucker because you still want to throw the pads on?
Oh, I still want to throw the pads on I started dreaming about it again. Like, I used to have dreams that I was still in the building.
I dream about it every single night.
And no, so for perspective, I usually wake up in the morning and have, it's just like, I close my eyes and I wake up. I don't really dream very often.
Okay.
But I started having dreams about being back in the building and like playing and shit. And ever since we had that reunion, would have been Saturday.
Yeah.
Every night it's been like, oh shit, I'm late to weightlifting, and like wake up, it's like, oh fuck, no, I'm not. And like I had this one really weird dream where it's like, we were in bowl prep again, and I started crying because I didn't want it to end again.
Wow.
And I woke up again. It's like, It already ended, so I'm sad now. But no, I still miss it every day. But you find things that keep you moving forward, like whatever it may be, your friends, your family, your relationships, your job.
Drugs.
For some people, it's drugs. That's not my recommended path.
I'm kidding. I'm trying to go off the rails for the fucking army here.
Dude, there was one night recently that I had a dream that we swore it was a swarm, and it kind of felt like the swarm out of either the tunnel at probably kind of like the tunnel at Wisconsin, but
Okay.
the tunnel at Wisconsin opened up into an arena that was kind of like a Roman Coliseum type deal, where there was just groups of royalty all around the arena. They had pet lions and tigers and stuff, and we were about to go play a football game in this Coliseum, and it was a pretty sweet dream.
They
But
should
dude,
do
I have
that.
those all the time.
They should do that in real life.
I wake up thinking I just had an anxiety attack from being in a dream, trying to get my uniform on, but like I'm moving slow and I know I'm already late for the game type deal. Like that's an every night deal for me. I think still got the sickness.
I think so I actually do usually have dreams. This is a great way to segue into a shout out to Zoe CBD. Got a guy named Drew. I don't remember his last name. It was a little bit, I think it was Neubauer or something like that. Guy's name is Drew. He reached out to us. He said, "Hey man, I want you to try our product." My family just
legendary note, by the way. Shout out to you, brother.
Wrote us a goddamn book.
The way he wrote the note is exactly the way that I would like to speak to him, you know?
Yeah. He told us, he's like, whether you like the product or you tell me to fuck off, it's Hawks by a million. I think that's how he ended it. So shout out to you, Drew, absolute legend, fan of the podcast. And his family's getting into the CBD business. And he sent us a little product to try out. And I zonked the other night on it.
Dude, when it's the multiple, when it's just CBD, it works good. But when it has the CBG and CBN in it too, for nighttime, it's unbelievable.
Yeah, I along with a tough training day, I was wiped out the other day, and I took a serving of the Zoe CBD he sent us, and it was full spectrum, fantastic. I was out. I don't think I woke up once. So shout out to him. We're going to be this isn't even a paid partnership because we haven't figured anything out yet, but we are going to be trying to figure something out. Maybe get you guys a discount code, maybe run some ad reads for the company because fan of the podcast, essentially part of the army and got some good product.
That's what we asked for from day one. We're like, we're not in this to make money, but if you're interested in sponsoring the podcast, we would love it to be like from the army itself.
Yeah. Anyone who has, and that's for anybody listening. If you have like if you've got like a family business or a product or a service, and like, don't be shy to reach out, because we'll promote it. I mean, this is an advertising platform, and it can be mutually beneficial for both us and you to kind of shout that out. So, man, Drake, you're looking lean. I could see the arm vein up your forearm there. Yeah, show me them guns. Not quite as defined as Kevin. Never gonna be, probably. Genetic champion, 26 years running.
And I've never had impressive biceps. I had some beefy old triceps.
You had good shoulders, swimming shoulders, and triceps. I've always been a tricep guy too, because I always did so much bench when I was in high school, and I never squatted. What is
Hey, I'll tell you what though. The leaner got a little leaner now.
Mm-hmm.
Makes it a lot easier to choke these motherfuckers to death.
How's that been going?
Dude, it's good, man. I get to train with some awesome people, and it's really hard, and they tell me I'm good. So that's
where do you think where's Drake's ceiling? Where does Drake end up in the MMA?
Well, the thing is, you
game?
have to train so long, and I don't have all that because I'm doing other things. Like
right.
we discussed, my future has other plans in it.
Oh yeah, I know.
So I don't know. Like fighting is super cool and it's something I want to do, but it's not something that I can devote my life to. And it's something that I'm already super far behind the 8 ball. So like, yeah, I'm going to fight other humans in a cage at some point, but being on the show, it's probably not going to happen. I just have other things on my plate that are going to take up too much.
Yeah.
But I'm gonna be good at jujitsu. I'm
Okay.
already pretty good at jujitsu and
Okay.
I'm gonna get better.
That's kind of how I feel with CrossFit.
What if instead of fighting humans, you started fighting bears for a living in like Las Vegas or something?
It's actually funny that you bring
I'm
that
not
up.
gonna lie, a couple of my training partners feel like
Bears?
otherworldly. Yeah, they feel like they have different genetics than I do. So I kind of feel like I do that already and I get mauled. So no.
Somebody
Just a thought.
commented on our most recent YouTube video and asked, is Drake getting ready to play the role of Jesus in a future theater or film performance? Because of the way you look.
I'm just trying to be incognito, Drake. I'm trying to be able to pull up on anybody and they
Drake,
don't.
look in the mirror. Nothing about you is incognito right now.
What do you mean? That
When you walk
anybody?
down the street, people will turn and look at you.
Yeah, but if I go back to Iowa City and wear long sleeves, nobody, you know what I'm saying?
I don't know.
I don't
Look
look
at
like
your
I
head.
used to.
Look at what is growing on it.
I think
You're going to
you're
attract attention to
you're
yourself.
too recognizable, dude.
Bro, but I don't look like who I used to look like. So they can look at me, but they don't know who they're looking at.
I know. Speaking of, I'm gonna bring up a picture of like Buzzhead Drake, Skinhead Drake.
Maybe incognito is the wrong word, but I thought I used it right. Because if you don't know what you're looking at,
I mean, I don't know. This is for those watching the YouTube version. I'm gonna share a little picture of Drake here. This guy right here in the corner. He was what is this guy right here thinking, Drake? What's this kid thinking?
dude, please give me a scholarship.
Go down to the rivals picture with the earring. The earring.
Where?
Right now, right below it. Right below it. Right, there you go.
This one?
Yeah.
I don't know if he has an earring in.
Yeah, there's earrings in there.
There's
Are
earrings
there?
in there. Oh, yeah.
How about this beefy guy? Holy shit.
That's thick.
Ooh,
That's
look at
really
this
thick.
guy. Now, what's this Drake Kulik thinking?
Not much.
I'd rather be dead than in camp.
Get me the fuck out of practice.
I'd rather be dead than in camp is what I was thinking right there.
Hey, but you both, I know for a fact, you both can feel the exact way that this picture feels, right? Like that you can feel the body temp, the heat, how the grass feels on your knee, the pressure that you're putting on your helmet. I know exactly, like I can feel this picture.
So if you want to know what was going through my eyes and into my brain, just walk out onto the freeway into oncoming traffic and the feeling that's going through your head right before the semi hits you in the face. That's what I was thinking about.
I mean,
Yeah.
your forehead's red, so I'm imagining this is post 9-on-7 right here.
No, this is before camp even actually started. This
Wow.
picture was taken in like day 2 when we were in Shells, and the whole camp was still right there in the windshield. And that's kind of why I was using that reference of playing in traffic. Because
I'll say this: your arm is looking spicy. It looks like you might be on something here, allegedly.
clean guy there. That was clean because I was about to play. That was before the junior year. I couldn't be juiced. I had to pass my drug tests.
Right. What is where was it? How about this one? What are you thinking right here? Like, please don't drop it.
No, dude, that ball took so long to get there.
It took a long
He threw
time.
me such a lollipop, and I'm like, dude, I would have rather he rifled it in there and let's get this over with because I had to catch it sideways. I was thinking, like, Nate, you're a dick. Okay, this guy's a dick, bro. The reporter that said, here, I'm gonna stand up here and then you're gonna fall backwards and I'm gonna take the picture. And I looked at him like, what? He's like, don't worry, it'll be cool. And I was like, whatever, dude. And I did it. And this is what he posted, bro.
One more. This one. That's tough.
Oh,
That's tough.
Didn't break it for no shit though.
Didn't, and it's funny. I think if I still type in Iowa football roster, that picture is what comes up for you on the. If we scroll over on this, God damn it, how do I move this? If we get to Drake Kulik on this scroll bar, it'll eventually like say your name somewhere, and that's the picture they use. I think it updated to like the brand new roster. It used to have us still on there, dude. Yeah, man, that's funny. Some of those pictures are funny. Some of them aren't funny, but most of them are funny. We have merchandise. No, we don't. At this point, the merchandise is closed, so you fucking missed the boat. Most of you probably didn't miss the boat because I pushed it on
Patreon app, dude. You can find this out right away.
So I pushed it to the Patreon guys right away, and you guys already probably have your merch. But hopefully you guys like that. The Tight End U shirt is sick, and there has been some requests that we need to make a Honey Pot Dale design, right? And I think that's
somehow I don't think that was going to get approved.
But we wouldn't need it to be approved. If we don't put the Tiger Hawk on it, then there's nothing about that shirt that needs to be
Nobody
approved.
owns the name Dale.
If we don't put a Tiger Hawk on it, and it doesn't
put the Tiger Hawk on the Tight End U one.
Yeah, but it used the reason we had to get that one approved. I didn't think we'd have to get that approved either because those three guys don't even play anymore. The reason we had to get that one approved is because we're insinuating that they're Iowa football players because we're selling it along with Iowa merch, our Hawks by a Million stuff. The Honey Pot Dale, anybody could just go print a Honey Pot Dale shirt. So
I already know in my head like what picture to use.
I just
tweeted this. It's like the Winnie the Pooh, like dipping his hand in the body.
And I think we just replace Pooh on the honey jar with Dale, and we just fucking sell that Honey Pot Dale. HPD.
Winnie the Pooh. What a weird fucking name.
Pretty weird, huh? Had a whole character. I mean, Eeyore. They were way ahead of their time. Eeyore was literally a character based on depression, dude. Isn't that wild?
I mean, a lot of these shows were like psychedelic trips.
True. Let's see if we got any good questions here. Do I have any other good questions for you guys?
I got some good pizza to eat after we're done with this podcast.
Pizza? How's that going to feel on the stomach?
It's going to feel terrible, but I don't got to train tomorrow, so it doesn't matter. I can spend.
By the way, dude, we got a lot of people, walk-on army or not, reaching out, trying to figure out what's wrong with our guy, Drake Kulik's stomach.
July 20th, I had blood tests done. So after that, we'll see if that says anything, but we'll see.
We got a lot of people worried about you. I even at the Newton golf event I went to, somebody came up to me and was like, "Hey, did Drake ever figure out what's he got going on with his stomach?" Easley came up to me because Easley, I guess, is having some he's got celiac disease in his family. That's probably some HIPAA violation that I just outed your whole family. Only to the army, so not a big deal. But he was like, "Hey, I'm working with this person that's helping me out. Maybe Drake would be able to benefit." I'm like, dude, I think Drake's tried almost everything at this point. And he's like,
dude, I've had a doctor shove something up my butt. And if anybody knows me, they know that nothing goes near my butt. So
see that tube? See
no
that
gerbils,
see that gerbil? Grab that tube, shove it up my butt.
Nope.
If anyone wants to hear some really great lyrics, just type in Eminem FACK, FACK. It spells the word in the song plenty of times too. Yeah, man, you had a licensed professional basically take an expedition into your colon. And I mean, I guess they can't figure shit out. They literally can't figure shit out, right?
I think that means it's got to be small intestine related, right?
Further up further down. Small intestine is the last stop before exit, right? Oh, nope. Large intestine is the last. Okay. Well, I paid attention. Yeah. See, Kevin and I just our whole thing was jam it in. And right after the test, Kevin, what do? Flush it. Flush it right down the drain. Flush all that knowledge you just crammed into your brain.
Except somehow I remembered and you didn't. So
Right. Well, you retain some things, you don't others. Yeah. Man, what else do we got? Okay, so here are some topics, some questions. Can you talk about what happens when you host recruits? Do the coaches sit you down before and give you talking points? No, they don't.
Dude, I'm curious why the coaches did not want me to recruit anybody after my only recruiting visit of all time. They had me host Jake Sabatka, and he played for us.
Yeah, came.
And then I'm pretty sure I never hosted anybody ever again.
I hosted Mick Ellis. Also,
and they also never asked me to do a player panel, which was probably smart.
I never got put on a player panel either because I didn't have a lot to offer. Kev, did you do a player panel?
I did a couple player panels.
Of course you fucking did, you asshole. God damn it, Kevin. Why are you perfect, dude?
I'm sorry. It's tough out here, you know. I guess someone's just got to hold the whole fort down together and just put a face on the program, and that's just me.
It's so annoying.
Like, the guy, she's like, "Hey, this is our guy right here. Look at him."
So annoying, dude. Oh fuck.
How much does your girlfriend?
I hosted Bishy and I hosted Nate Vivoda.
How much does your girlfriend love just showing you off to her parents? Like, look at my boyfriend. Look what I did, Dad. I got somebody that you would be proud of. Look at my boyfriend.
This guy has never done anything wrong.
Ever.
What's the most, you probably won't say it on the podcast, but like, have you ever even gotten in any kind of serious trouble in your life or like messed up anything? I can't say anything.
Yes,
about
but
it.
I got out of it every time.
Okay. I also got out of the really bad one. I definitely told Drake about it. I don't know if he remembers, but it was
B&E, baby. B&E.
Okay. And let's just stop it right there because it was alleged and there was some discrepancy in the stories.
Yeah. I got really lucky one time that comes to mind, and then really lucky twice actually.
Okay. Luck is how much do you think luck plays a role in people's, like, imagine something happens, right? And then like Kevin Ward in high school goes to jail or something, you know, like, and his whole life path changes, right?
Nah, nothing jail related. I'll just tell a story. So up at the lake house, you remember how we had that like golf cart type thing?
Yeah.
This would have been back in high school, and I'm feeling a little crazy. There's a little big amount of dirt. I'm like, this would be a good idea. I'm gonna jump this thing off the dirt pond.
Oh, you went jackass.
Yeah. So I hit it's down a hill and there's a big amount of dirt. I was like, I'm just gonna hit this thing full speed and I'll jump. It'll be like Dukes of Hazzard. It'll be cool.
No.
And Ryan's in the seat next to me. He's like, Kevin, no. And of course it goes poorly. Luckily, we get tossed out of the cart before it flips over and kind of like gets half destroyed. But thinking back on it now, could have easily been severely maimed,
right,
or killed.
Yeah, like and you know that stuff doesn't happen often, but every once in a while you hear about the shit like with Jack Kerner and his buddy last
like Kevin Ward almost dying to you.
Right. You know, like Jack Kerner's buddy lost his leg in that jet ski accident, boating accident last year. Like that could have been Jack. His whole life has changed. Football career's over. Like imagine that shit. So it's funny to me. One of the questions, actually, this was a good question that came up this was the question, Drake, that I told you would be really good for someone that was just out of their mind on drugs.
Yeah.
And it's a little bit like convoluted, but basically it's if in this scenario, there's 100 universes, right? It's not like infinite universe or infinite world theory, but there's 100 just for number's sake. And each has a slightly different version of you in it. Different decisions made, breaks go a different way. It's kind of what we're talking about. Where do you in this universe, the one that we're actually living in, which could be a simulation, who knows? rank out of that 100 potential universes. Basically, it's a question of where do you think, if there's 100 of you out there in the galaxy, what number are you? Are you in the top 10% of your potential of what your life could be? Are you in the bottom 10%? Where do you think you fall?
69.
Right at 69. On the top end or the bottom end? Like you're in the
On the top end.
Okay.
I've been relatively successful on a scale of average humans.
You think there's 30 other Drakes out there, 30 other Drakes out there that are more successful?
Man, I could have done so many other things right, dude. I could have taken so much more advice that I didn't take. I could have fucking worked harder than I thought I was back in the day. You know, there's just a lot of things I could have done.
For me, I think I'm in like the 90th, like I'm up in the top percentile. I think I've gotten really fucking lucky in this life. Like really lucky. I look back on my life and I almost feel bad with how many things have not gone wrong. Like other people, I've gone through no adversity, damn near. And I think about it all the time, and I'm very fortunate, very grateful. But in the end, I still feel like a little bit like I don't know what to tell you. Like I don't know. It just
Kind of in your camp right there, Kluve. You know, you can play the walk-on card like, oh, no one believed in me. Shut the fuck up. Our life was easy as shit. We worked really hard. We worked really hard to get where we got, but it's like, you know, it's like you just do the things you're supposed to do and things just kind of work out for you. Yeah. There's only one other Kevin Ward I'd like to meet, and that's the one that went into the Air Force.
Oh, I'd love to meet that motherfucker too.
I think that would have been an interesting person to meet. But I don't know. What?
In a 100 unit scenario, there's probably like 20 Kevin Wards who eventually went into the Air Force.
That's true. Probably a couple got out right after service. Probably a couple stayed in for their entire life.
Right. Like
probably a couple got shot down over.
Couple died, dude. Couple died in the air. Had to pull the eject and just couldn't quite make it out. Like that's a really interesting kind of theoretical scenario to picture. And then on the far end, there's a Drake, the worst Drake. Who's
I wonder
like,
how many Drakes out of that 100 killed.
What does the worst version of yourself look like, you think?
I think,
listen, dude, I've looked at a pretty bad version of myself in the mirror on a couple of days, and it ain't pretty.
I think legitimately in this scenario, I think the bottom 10 Tylers or the bottom 10 Drakes, or there's definitely a number for each person, probably every person that involves them already being deceased. Like their life is probably already over for some reason or other. Like, right. They're like the worst Tyler or the worst, like, you know, like he died somehow.
Just like, I just can't fathom how, like, I can obviously see like a freak accident or that aforementioned idiot move freshman year Kevin in high school made. But I just can't fathom what type of life decisions I would have to make for like me to get like murdered or something or get in that type of trouble. Like there's just like my parents didn't even make that an avenue for me.
I could see a couple. I think for Drake, there's a couple scenarios that could have taken like an extra step or two and could have gotten there.
Dude, just recently, I followed somebody into the parking lot of Lowe's because I was ready to put fists on them, bro.
Imagine they whip out the 9. Imagine they whip out the 9 and shoot you dead right there in the Lowe's parking lot.
Guess what, dude? About 78% of me doesn't give a fuck.
So I very easily, like one of those Tyler out of the 100 I easily could have died. Like it was, I've told the story on the podcast before, but I took the caddy full 360 on an icy road one night, and that bitch could have went right in the ditch and easily ended up very poorly. And like, it was like, it's just a lot of luck. My life's a lot of luck, man.
Living in a simulation, bro.
Yeah, I don't think any of it's real. So who knows? I think that was a pretty good episode. I don't think we really need to put much more in there.
Pizza time for me, baby.
Drake's had a pizza to eat. I'm glad that the Walk-On Army could join us for this. So thankful for you guys, as always. You guys are the fucking goats. Just think of yourself as the gladiators. Maybe we come up with a cool gladiator t-shirt for the walk-on army. That'd be fucking cool. Yeah, man. Kevin, Drake, Tyler, episode 236 of the Washed Up Walk-Ons, a little Q&A / Patreon exclusive. Hope you had a great time. We'll be back again to talk at you soon. Peace.